That juice. Yeah. It's funny how quick you move from the bottom to the top. She gave me top, so I moved to the bottom. This world of stardom. Marble floors, panoramic views. The reason why I ain't make it to church to sit in the pews.
I thought a man was innocent until he's guilty. Ain't been no jury to judge me.
Damn miracle.
How long must I pay for the
Joker
wrong
PJ
I've
2X,
done?
nigga. Yeah.
I'm a victim of
Look.
fantasy.
Hey, they raging war by terror, but feed our children these lies. Even our president evil, you can see the look in his eye. They gave you hope in the Bible, but in their system we died. We went to school to be safe, because at home we survived. You had hula hoops and bikes, we had killers outside. You fed us shit that you discarded and put the poison inside. They shooting schools, movies, and churches with people inside. You took our parents out our home and gave them shit to get high. You taught us hatred and pride, with your government bullets. You dropped the guns in our neighborhood, called the name on the bullets. You gave us project buildings, now we rap to the fullest. Gave us clothes that we can afford so you can kill us in hoodies. You gunned us down in the street, let justice spit on our name. You put our ancestors in trees and watch their blood in the rain. Say this the land of the free, but forcing shit in our veins. You telling lies in our vision, but then you call us insane. Dear miracle. Yeah. Yeah. Dear miracle. Yeah. This for you. Dear miracle. Yeah. Dear miracle.
All right, boom, 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 and we back. This is your boy Enigma September, and this is the Enigma Sept Hour. What you just heard was my man Joker, PJ 2 times with Dear America. Shouts out to my man Joker, man. Give my man's props. All right, so this is episode 158 of the Enigma Sept Hour podcast, powered by Freedom Train Radio. Shouts out to everybody associated with Freedom Train Radio, Pat, Joe, Shelby, Candace, Cliff, and everybody in between. We appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all, for being here with your boy, supporting your boy, rather if it's reposting, the podcast, talking about the podcast, leaving comments, sharing, liking, subscribing to the YouTube page, subscribing to the Twitch page, all of that, man. I appreciate that. Each and every person that does it, for real. So don't get it twisted. If you don't hear me or you don't see me say it, please believe that I see it and I appreciate it. Yeah. So what is? Oh, well, of course, duh. We do have a guest for the podcast. The guest today will be none other than the jack of all trades, music mogul, if you will, author, all around just good guy and a friend to many. The notorious, notorious Keith Kennedy, man. Notorious Keith Kennedy. And I'm gonna say this during the interview, and I'm gonna give you guys a heads up. The interview was pre-recorded before the live. So those who are watching on YouTube, you're gonna see you're gonna see that I'm changing shirts and all of that. But no, if you're just familiar with the likes of T-Pain, the likes of B.O.B., the likes of Trap Beckham, the man that really helped a lot of those three guys in particular, amongst a whole bunch of other artists, was, of course, music business move maker T.J. Chapman. But with TJ, all the things that TJ did, TJ had his right hand man, his Robin, if you will, and that was my man Keith Kennedy. Keith Kennedy has done things in his own right, but just to give you guys a heads up on who we have on today. So, especially if you are an aspiring artist, and if you are an aspiring business person in any field, you definitely want to make sure you stay around for the interview. He he has a book called Rules to the Game that we'll discuss, and yeah, man, just it's a lot. You're gonna get a lot of knowledge. It's kind of cool because I already know. Sometimes I don't know what's gonna come with the interview, but it's kind of cool when I already know. I can just give you guys the heads up, like, yo, you need to wait around for this. So, gotta start with the bad news, man. Gotta start with the bad news. It's a sad day, a sad weekend. Really started off great, but received some bad news over the past 36 hours at this point. Tallahassee's own Grimlock, artist, rapper, DJ, all around good guy, Fourth Ave representative, reportedly passed away this weekend. Don't know if it was late Friday or sometime Saturday, but it was reported he was passed away. Grimlock was heavy in the Tallahassee rap scene since the 90s. You know, I've read that man was out here putting it down, you know, since 95 and probably earlier than that. You know, I can't recall. I wasn't on the scene like that, but I can attest that he was heavy in the local rap scene, man, doing, and not just local, just all around Florida. The crazy thing was it was definitely unexpected. I literally, amongst a bunch of other people, saw him Friday. Like, saw him perform Friday, and he looked as healthy as anybody. He looked healthier than me. But yeah, man, what had happened just to bring a little lightness to it. There was the Frenchtown Rising Get Down. Or those that's not familiar, Tallahassee, there's a section of the town called Frenchtown, which is or was gentrification, a predominantly black neighborhood where black people will congregate. So, you know, in those cities that have, like Urban Street, I guess in Atlanta, it was that type. I have ties to Frenchtown. My grandparents, my dad's parents, lived on Fifth Avenue, so they were known to frequent the area. And I had an uncle on my mom's side who was a barber in the area as well. But yeah, so that's how it's the French time. Anyway, they was having to get down in preparation of the home game for FAMU. Those Rattlers, we did that. But anyway, during this get down, they had local talent, and at the end, they had a big blow up, if you will, or blowout in a good way. It was all good vibes. Let me get congratulations. I know we're talking sadness, but it's positivity in the negativity, man. It was good vibes all around. Like, I want to really, really, really like pinpoint that, because people think because black people conjugate somewhere that got to be problems and trouble. No, none of that. None of that. Like, I had no. Sometimes you get spider senses, like something may go down, or you may have a little scuffle, but break up before anything serious happened. It was none of that. At least from what I saw, none of that. Straight peaceful black people enjoying themselves in their space. That was a great part about it. At the end of the show, they had MBZ, they had the Nappy Head, shouts out to Nuke, shouts out to Naughty Black, shouts out to Doughboy, and Grimlock. They all went on stage, rocked the stage, killed it. You know what I mean? Killed it. Not only that, it was presented. I think it was called the 850 Legends Award. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Anybody out there, if you're if you're watching live, if you know the difference, or if you know there's a different title to the award, let me know. I think it was the 850 Legends Award, something of that sort. But it was presented to MBZ, presented to the Nappy Heads who were intended, or those that were in attendance, and Grimlock, and rightfully so. You know what I mean? Like those, especially that group in the early 2000s, really held down the rap scene in Tallahassee. I can't front on that at all. I can't disrespect that. It's real. That's true. Yeah. So it was just dope, seeing that, seeing them come together, we had Dap out there, Little Boy. Actually, the guest tonight, Keith, he was out there, but he had to leave or whatever. But it was just good to see them get that love, and in particular, Grimlock to get his flowers. And then, unfortunately, we get word that he's no longer with us. Just crazy, man. It's really crazy. But I think also too, it's that's why you give people their flowers, first of all. And B, appreciate every day. Appreciate every day. I want to say I said this is the last podcast. Appreciate every day, because you never know. You never know. You could have seen Grimlock. Once I saw Grimlock, then didn't look like nothing wrong with that man. He was enjoying himself, enjoying being with his friends, his people. You know what I'm saying? He represents 4th Avenue. Actually, I forgot to mention this. That's one of the reasons why I started off with Joker, with his joint, because I wanted to represent, 4th Ave, man, that whole neighborhood. So everybody over there at 4th Avenue, his family, his friends, his daughters, any and everybody affected by the passing of Grimlock, man, my heart goes out to you guys. I hope nothing but peace and some type of peace. Especially if he was close, like that hurt don't really go away, because how permanent death can be. But I can only hope that there's some peace and some condolence in the ideal that he did get his flowers, man. He did give us flowers. We're gonna give him his flowers, man. One time for Grimlock. Lost a real one. Shoot, I could put it to be real. Shoot, he gave me me and Raven a shot. You know what I mean? There was some stuff behind that. Ain't gonna get into that. We're gonna keep it cool, but he did give us a shot. I gotta give him his props on that. He gave us a shot. He gave us a shot. So man, shouts out to Grimlock for that, man. Speaking of, before I get into the next thing, well, no, I ain't gonna do that right now. In better news, I'm saying better news because that's how I wrote it. In better news, big up to everyone else who performed out there, including fellow, is it fellow? I mean, other Enigma Sept Hour podcast alumnus, such as Newt Nichols. Like I said, he was there with the Nappy Heads. Tarif Knockout did his set. Shouts out to Tarif, man. You're gonna hear a little bit more of Tarif. And Jody Somerville. Jody had that thing going. Come on, people. Jody had that thing going, boy. Jody had that thing going. Hey, boy, Jody. Boy, Jody. Hey, boy, if you watching, boy, Jody. Ain't nobody watching. But Jody had that thing going, boy. Man, just to see the growth, man. See the growth. I mean, from being my man Keeson, little homeboy, just rolling to becoming the artist he's become, been pretty dope, man. Shout out to Jody. And my little niece, Jayla Young popped up, killed it, did a thing. Know what I mean? So, man, it was just cool just being out there amongst the people, man, and everything just being cool and everybody chilling. Shout out to my cousin Toshiba and Tariq. They was out there doing their thing. Shoot, that's not my other cousin. Low key, some kind of way. That's my cousin, Terrence Barber. I guess through marriage, twice over. Yeah, we can't vote. Like I said, that's my cousin too. And Mr. Barber who put the whole thing together, helped put the whole thing together. But anyway, a lot of connections, man. It was just cool to be out there. And I think that's about it. Okay, that's enough of the Frenchtown Rising. That's it. Should have been out there. You missed a good time. Especially if you was thinking, oh yeah, it's just local rappers. I don't care. You missed out. Let's get this out of the way, man. These birthday shout outs out of the way. If I forget you, blame my mind, not my heart. But three main people I must give a shout out to. Now the 9th, October 9th, we celebrate the birthday of not just my main man, Sacrifice One, but also my bro, my main man too. Big Low, man. Big Low and Sacrifice One. Not that. Shouts out to them boys. And if you are listening to the podcast, if you're listening to the podcast when it drops on Monday morning, big shouts out to my namesake, if you will. I'm his namesake. What I'm talking about. I got my name from him. My kinfolk, my bro, my partner in rhyme, Raven October, man. You old now, boy. You old like me now. You old like me now. Just grow that beard out. We'll see it. I'm gonna color my stuff. I ain't even gonna know. I'm just gonna come up here. I'm gonna be jet black. I'm gonna be jet black. This beard gonna be jet black. Y'all go like, what? With an E, not with an A. What? My beard gonna be wet with jet black ink. I'm tired. Y'all can get the salt and pepper once I turn like 46. I'm gonna give y'all 5 years of jet black, and then I'll bring back the salt and pepper in 5 years. How about that? Look, man, Mackenzie got to go to kindergarten. I ain't finna go dropping off to kindergarten. They be like, that's your granddaddy? No, I'm gonna at least get them kind of confused. They're gonna be like, he look like he about 31, maybe. Probably raised about 10 years, man. I'm coloring this thing. Yo. He said, don't do that, Bing Jean. Don't do that. Keep that sex in this baby. I guess. Keep it 100. Yo, what we gonna get to? Oh, it's old news, man, but I'm talking about it anyway. BET Hip Hop Awards. I hope you guys didn't watch that. Didn't? Darn. You missed a pretty good show. Yo, it was good to me. It was all right. It was good. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad though. I mean, it was by the numbers. It was very by the numbers. Probably the best part was Tyler, the Creator. They gave him props. Not I Am Hip Hop. Who was I Am Hip Hop? I think he did get the I Am Hip Hop award. I think LL came out and gave him that award. That was dope. Nelly got his flowers. Shouts out to Nelly. I had to tell Fee. I guess I could tell y'all. Man, I used to hate on Nelly. What? UE? I ain't gonna front. I was a real hater. Bro. I used to hate on Nelly. I was just like, the reason was, it's not I didn't like his music per se. It was all right. But I just didn't like the fact that he was getting more props than Outkast. Like, honestly, straight up. And I was just like, yo, like, he's straight, but he ain't like Outkast straight. But he was getting all this hype. And I'm just like, man, y'all crazy, bro. It's better stuff over here. I was just being a hater. It wasn't until, Ride With Me? I heard Ride With Me. I was like, you know what? I can't hate. Ride With Me was the most perfect hip hop song ever. Probably even still to this day. Maybe we can go through Drake's catalog and find something, but Ride With Me was just so on point. It didn't make no sense. Like he did that. At that point, I was like, you know what? I can't be a hater. Outkast can't do that. They got better songs than that, but they can't do that. Even with Hey Y'all, they can't do that. So yeah, man. Shouts out to Nelly. I was tripping. I was bugging. I'm man enough to say that I was bugging. What else we got? Oh, speaking of bugging, y'all bugging. Yes, I'm overusing the sound because y'all tripping. Uh, so apparently, despite a bump in sales, R. Kelly was actually the other way around. Despite R. Kelly's music channels being removed from YouTube, he's found a bump in his sales. What is wrong with y'all? Y'all think y'all slick? No, it's human nature or American nature. We are celebrity culture, and clearly his name is in the media. People, hey, let me go listen to "Stepping in the Name of Love" because he got set up. Bill Cosby, like, yeah, no, stop, That man, we know what he did. We been knew what he did. Matter of fact, what was crazy, because I'm crazy. I was on YouTube and I was watching I think it was a 2001. I think it was 2001. And Chris Rock was hosting. It could have been 2000. It could have even been 2000. Regardless, it was 2000, 2001. Chris Rock was hosting the VMAs. And he said, he was like, yo, we got the Olsen twins in the building. They're down here, which means R. Kelly must be way up here. And he pointed to the rafters. And people laughed because they knew. It was probably 03. But they knew it was a joke. So don't sit here and be like Bill Cosby, ain't nobody know nothing. You didn't really hear a word of nothing until probably like 05 when this case that he got locked up and got free from really came out. R. Kelly, we knew. The industry knew. Stop it. Stop trying to justify that man. Let him rot in peace. What's crazy is despite YouTube removing his music, his presence, and I can tell you this is from personal account, his presence felt strongly on TikTok. And sadly, that's on brand. I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's on brand for Pied Piper. It works. It worked. Ill. Anyway, speaking of ill, apparently Kodak Black alluded that he was gonna kill himself over the weekend. There was some cryptic, that's the right word, cryptic tweets on Twitter, because you can't tweet on Facebook or any other social media. There was some cryptic tweets. Unfortunately, he was only joking. He was like, "Oh, I'm a thug, but get a thug. I was in my feelings." Yeah, I bet that girl in South Carolina was in her feelings and forced herself and bitter. Hung guy in your feelings, huh? Might be guilt. Maybe. I don't care. Emmanuel, what if you blow up in your pocket? I just gave out my government. Anyway, Enigma, what if you blow up and your podcast blow up? You have to get a chance to interview Kodak Black one day. I ain't trying to interview Bill Cosby either. Or R. Kelly for that reason. Oops. Yo. Man, look at this news, man. Black men have been tripping. We out here wilding. Yo, what the? We gotta stop. Stop us. What is going on? So apparently, Sweetie got into some hot trouble on Twitter again. This time she wasn't in a bathing suit. There was this clip of her being interviewed by Too Short. That's it. That's the tweet. No, that's not it. But yo, so during the interview, Too Short indicated that he's only attracted to mixed race women. Sound like some old school. I ain't say old school. Sound like some lame player shit. Like I guess he assumed Swatey, because it's not Sweetie. It's a whole A in front of the W. Who does that? Anyway, yeah. So you're like, hey man, I want to like mixed women. I was only be attracted to mixed women. I coon anyway. So Sweetie, just trying to be nice because she sampled his song and don't want any backlash. Just kind of like laughed it off, like okay. Now she did come back around and was like, "Yo, all black women are beautiful." Like, let's clarify that. But the internet is going to internet, and because they're more interested in her than with her in the destruction of her, they just took the clip of her kind of laughing off. Too Short's words. Too Short said it, but she got the backlash. And that was what was weird to me. Like, he said it. Why y'all going after her? Because she laughed it off. That's what she was supposed to do, like storm off. I mean, she could have, but what would be the point? It was him. It's his mentality that's jacked up. Why y'all coming at her? And not only that, the hip hop head in me was like, yo, these fools really don't know Too Short. It was like, yeah, well, the bald head guy said this. You mean Too Short? You mean Too Short that made Blow the Whistle, which is the song that Sweetie sampled? Am I right? That tap, tap, tap in is Blow Your Whistle, ain't it? It's one of them Too Short songs. Regardless, like y'all don't even. That's not even like a 90s song. That song came out like in 03. Like y'all don't. You 27, you should. Anyway, child. It's messy all around. Yeah, but Too Short nasty, bro. Like, I guess it's his preference. All right, cool, but you can't check that. You can't be like, yo, I like this. I'm just conditioned. You know what I mean? Like, you can clearly condition. But then again, maybe a California thing. Let me shut up. Get my head chopped off. Go ahead and close this thing. By closing this thing, by talking about the closer himself, David Chappelle. Oh. You guys like what he did, don't you? You think David Chappelle is a genius, don't you? You think David Chappelle is insightful, don't you? You think I'm about to get on you and call you transphobic because you like David Chappelle, don't you? No, I'm not. I watched the closer, his supposedly final stand-up special on Netflix. I think he did 5. I think it's the 5th of 5. And in it, I ain't gonna front. First of all, I had to sneak and do it. Felicia was asleep. So she gonna be like, you watch it. No, I gotta do the voice she hates. Yeah. Look, my wife doesn't sound like that, but I will tell every wife out there that's out there. Yeah, Shelly. Yeah, Sarah. Yeah, Gian. EJ gonna kick my mess up his wife's name. It's their anniversary today. Congratulations to y'all. Who else out there? Yeah, all y'all. Kiana. Yes, when you talk to your husband, especially when you complain about something, that's how you sound. It's kind of weird. Just our man brain just take your voice. Now, any other time when we in love with you and everything is fine, you sound like your normal self. But when you start going off, how you get like this? It's a man thing. Anyway, so yeah, man, I watched the Dave Chappelle special, man. It was funny, it was insightful, and I knew what was coming. And I believe that Dave Chappelle knows or knew what was gonna come. And I think that was the whole point, honestly. It was for that. For he knew the backlash was gonna come. He was inviting it because that's the joke. That's the punchline. It's the backlash. Like anybody that comes at him and be like, David Chappelle is homophobic, transphobic, it's like dumb. Like that's where you want it. You're better off just being quiet because when you come to him, you're gonna look crazy. Because clearly, at least I think it's clear that Dave Chappelle isn't transphobic, he isn't homophobic. However, I do believe that he believes in common sense, regardless. Now, and maybe what's the word? Projecting that on him because that's how I am. Like it's not even about gay rights or trans rights. Just for me, I think any marginalized people or marginalized group is you can get to a slippery slope of kind of reaching for things that's illogic because you're just reaching for straws to make your point. And you have a point. You have a great point. Your fight or whatever you're fighting for is true by itself. And I think the thing is that you don't have to grab for any and everything to make a valid point about your struggle. Your struggle is valid, but you don't have to just go and just come with the most outrageous things to make your point. And I think at the end of the special, when you talked about the comedian that he tried to help out, and then once people came and said he was transphobic, and she took up for him, and then that community went after her, and eventually she ended her life because of the pressure. And I think what Dave was trying to highlight is, yo, like how far would you go? You could have just made your point, but you were so hungry with making your point that you went after one of your own. You ate your own just trying to make a point, and that's not healthy. That's not going to help your cause. Like, yes, have the drive and determination to try to make a change in this country, and I'm with you with that, but don't do it to a point where you hurt yourself. And that's with any marginalized group, Black people, women, the disabled, whoever, illegal immigrants, whatever it is. Yeah, fight for your cause, but don't fight to your cause that you end up cutting your nose to spite your face. And I think that's what the point he's trying to come across. Now, I will say this, and this is important. I do the one thing I am afraid of when it comes down to not just the special, but Dave Chappelle's even commentary jokes about trans people in particular. I will say this. I am afraid that it does have a Kevin Samuels effect. And what I mean by that is, like even with Kevin Samuels, I don't think Kevin Samuels is necessarily a sexist, or at least tries to be. However, his platform empowers those because they don't think as deeply as he do. So they take little snippets and then they run off with whatever toxic mentality they have. And that can be dangerous. And I think that's the same with Dave Chappelle, which I think David Chappelle understands what he's saying and how he's saying it and how to present it. The problem is those who don't, or those who really have a toxic view about trans people, will use his words to attack those people, as opposed to saying, "Oh no, it's clear he respects those people. We should do the same." But they won't pick up on that. They're just going to pick up on the fact that he's being critical of them, which is valid, but they're just going to pick on the critical parts and not the love. And it will embolden them to do the dumb shit that doesn't need to be done, because that community doesn't need that. So, but unfortunately too, there's not too many people on that end that's gonna see that part. They're just gonna attack David and say, "Oh, he's bad, he's transphobic," when he's not transphobic. It's those that may listen to his words and then they end up acting on their transphobia, and that's the problem, not David Chappelle. So I got too deep on the hip hop podcast. No one is listening to right now. So yo, man. So yeah, I don't think anyone should call for a ban of the special. I do think it's an important piece of art. But it's just a lot of nuances, man. And that's everything. And unfortunately, nuances get lost in this rush in social media. Unfortunately, just the way of the world. So you can either be scared of it, you can try to get rid of it, but it really ain't going nowhere. So what's the point? Just let things be and just hope that your voice or voices can drown it out. Yeah, man. Before we keep it moving, those is watching the YouTube, I just want to give a shout out to my baby. My final birthday gift is here. And boom, boom, I have the 25th anniversary of AT Aliens that has not only the original album, but the instrumental versions of the full album, which wasn't previously available. So, yeah, man. And Felicia doesn't like it. You can't see it because of the glare. But yeah, I'm not opening this. I probably should just to make sure that see if it goes in the dark. Now, I may open up the single. I got the single Elevators on 12-inch. Pause. Oh, take it back. 7-inch. No pause because I'm 7-inch. But yo, I'm gonna say this. Not gonna open it in the hopes that one day someone who's my friend will one day set it up where I can meet Big Boy and or Andre and have them sign it, and that'll be that. So yeah, man. For those who missed it, hold up. Let me show it again. Boom, boom, boom. Y'all see it. Y'all see it. 25th anniversary edition, baby. Yeah, my baby love me. Shouts out to Felicia, man. My baby love me. Anyway, man, we're going to go into this next track, and then we're going to go into the interview. So I'm going to give my boy some love. Sometimes the hate can override the love, but you got to remember, man, it's love out here. You got those that love you, so don't worry about those that come against you. Because love always going to stay strong. So this is my man Tarif Knockout with Small Town. You can right back with my man Keith Kennedy. This is the Enigma Sept Hour. You got time, baby.
Grew up in a small town in our own world. Had a thing for this shawty, wish I knew her. But I only sit online on computer. I'm talking so bad, won't text her, I'ma call first. Grew up in a small town in our own world. Had a thing for this shawty, wish I knew her. But I only sit online on computer. I'm talking so bad, call this signal off work. Grew up in a small town, used to stay off Wanish Way. Worked in the mall, the food court. That Chick-fil-A, even called name and did me my trait. I looked you in your eyes.
Enigma September.
Faces I about face and walk the other way. And to be quite honest, I can't shake it to the day. To the long list of regrets in my life. Now to make matters worse, you a mother and a bride. Ask me if I'm okay. I just lie and say I'm fine. There's no queen, there's no UNITY. Pretty girls rarely like nice guys. They in the pizza nights is some cheap red wine. Them South Florida beaches, you can see sunrise. I'm chasing limelight, more rhymes, tour lines. If things don't work out next life, I won't think twice. Grew up in a small town in our own world. Had a thing for this shawty, wish I knew her. But I only sit online on computer. I'm talking so bad, won't text her. I'm a call first. Grew up in a small town in our own world. Had a thing for this shawty, wish I knew her. But I only sit online on computer. I'm talking so back, call this now off her. Had a thing for this shawty, she don't owe nobody melanin. Her mind, God bless her body. Take you on long trips overseas. 2 Saudi passport, 2 copies, we can go. Do Haji shopping sprees, Abu Dhabi. Thank you for the brighter days. Pray our love will never fade. Every ship gets rocky, it ain't always blue skies. But the men predict cloudy, we can all use guidance from the one.
Of course, the Enigma Sept Hour podcast. What you just heard was a song. I don't know what it is because I'm recording this in the future or in the past or Back to the Future. Fly. Regardless, we do have a very, 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 very special guest. Me and this guy are who's have a lot in common. No, we don't. We're September Libras. We're the best. We just let you guys know what it is. You can look at the look at his information. My YouTube page, Enigma Sept 927, everything he ends is 926. Because September's are the best, and we're gonna let you know that we're the best. But before you know that, let me give y'all a quick rundown. My man has dedicated his life. I bet this from his bio, so you guys can sue me later. Dedicated his life to the following passions of writing, music, business, and helping others. With 20 plus years as an industry vet, you know, including vice president of TJ's DJs, which was DJ conference, Senate here in Tallahassee, but help artists all around the world, including artists such as B.O.B., T-Pain, Rick Ross, David Banner, and Plows. He helped with the success of the legendary Tastemakers Only DJ music conferences. He also has created talent shows, hosted his own sports entertainment talk shows. We're going to get into that. Wrote about and numerous artists and executives, book shows, opened up a trophy shop. I didn't know that. in event hall. Plus, time to time to mentor the next generation while traveling with book signings, including the book they dropped the day before his birthday, Rules the Game. My man, everybody's man, because September Libras are the best. Keith Kennedy, what's up, my boy?
Hey, what up, man? What up?
I can play that sound. My man's infamous. He's infamous and worthy of
man.
Yo, man, I'm glad to have you on the show. I think I'm gonna get in trouble. I hope Dennis don't get mad. I think it's 3 Libras in a row. Had my man Royce.
Okay.
He was on before, and yeah, man, Dennis is now you. So Libra season's in full effect. Y'all better recognize. We doing this. But man, yeah. So I don't even know where to start. I can start from the beginning.
Yeah.
I really don't even know the beginning. Like, so correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Duval?
Duval represent.
Okay. Okay. All right. So were you born and raised in Jacksonville?
All right. So you want to talk about the very, very beginning? I see. All right.
Of the very
So,
beginning, when
all
your
right.
mama
So,
brought you from the hospital, I'm trying to get there.
all right. So if we're talking about coming from the hospital, I actually was born in the University of Tennessee Knoxville Hospital, in
Okay.
Knoxville, Tennessee. So Orange Balls and the whole nine. My parents met at the University of Tennessee bookstore, and the rest is history. And you see, history is greatness, But I was born in September 26th. One time for the Libras, and I also share my birthday twin is Serena Williams too. I just learned that, so I was really happy about that. But so I moved to Jacksonville when I was 3. When my dad got a job working at Jacksonville University, doing some work with students, making sure that's called the Upper Bound program. And my mother got a job working for the city and the Attorney General's office. So I just been in Jacksonville ever since I was 3. So Duval all day, and up and down the block, man. And I just was very proud and thankful. Went to Jacksonville, moved in high school. While I was in high school, I was blessed to be a part of the first student to graduate with business law and finance magnet program at Wilson High School. So shout out to Ms. Forrest and all the other teachers that put me in the game. And through that, I was able to get internships, and I started working at Smith Barney Shearson for one summer. That's why I learned that I hated working in the cubicle. I will never do it again. And even though I was making good money, I hated just being waking up early in the morning, getting there, sitting at the desk for hours. The best time I had while I was working there was the lunch break. I went to go eat with the secretaries who was younger than the rest of them. You know what I mean? I was a higher of the day. But huh?
So sitting there watching Victor Newman doing what he's doing.
Man. But I just, me personally, the lesson I got from that was, money is good, especially when I was in high school. I was making stupid money, but I just hated the experience, and I realized that I would much rather go to my first job. I was working at Putt Golf and Game. The money wasn't the same, but I loved just being there because it gave me freedom and independence. It allowed me to interact with people, and it helped me understand how small businesses work. And I was really on that. And ever since then, I just kind of put to that. And while I was in middle school, and I used to be that kid that sold candy. I was the one that sold video games. I was the one that always had to hustle going. So I always had my own money because, plus my parents, but they weren't always able to give me what I wanted and what I needed. You know what I mean?
Right.
They gave me what I needed, just as good parents do. But as a kid that wants stuff, sometimes you have to go get yourself. And I always found ways of figuring that out. I had a lemonade stand. You know, I mean, I was always hustling something. You know, selling chips. You know, I was just always doing something, and that catapulted me in the entrepreneurial mindset. And even before an entrepreneur, I didn't even know how to spell it or what it was. I was always hustling. You know, and that catapulted me once again into just an open world. And I realized that I love business and I love music. So when I got to college, one time for Florida State, and I was in my second year, I was blessed that I went to a class one day, and this guy gave a speech about how he was an artist in the music industry and how he was, you know, getting messed over. And he was like, well, you know, I asked him at the end of the day, I said, listen, man, do you know anybody in the music game that, you know, I could do as an intern? And he said, yeah, man, you know, I know this guy named TJ Chapman, you know, he has his record pool. I had no idea what a record pool was. So hit him up, say, hey, you know, I have this business background, want to come and learn about the music industry. He said, cool. So, you know, he basically gave me the opportunity to come and be an intern. And I started putting records up. That was the first time I saw records was my dad used to have his record collection. And saw DJ come through. I make all the DJs out of music, and from that, it just really started my music career. And I'm grateful to TJ for that opportunity. And you know, running every and like I said, the beginning was putting records up, make sure DJs like DJ Little John, DJ Little, you know, the Mighty Crumpler, ended up starting in Valley Park. And my man Soldier Boy, Magic Mike, the first platinum DJ, DJ Jap, DJ Little Boy, DJ Nice, now he's nice, but now he's Kyrie, or he's always Kyrie to me, but you know, now he's a Grammy winner producer, Needle, you know what I mean? So a lot of these cats I got the chance to meet and know and get their records to them, and as they blew up, we blew up, and it was a beautiful thing. And then we can continue going forward, but you know, that's just got started.
That's it, folks. That was the whole interview. Keith gave you all the.
Now, what I can tell you is the internship thing is. I feel like this generation glosses over a lot. Not to make it sound like I'm old or anything like that, but you know, one thing that I understood that money was not the end all be all. It was more about the opportunity. So for me, you know, when I first started working with TJ, I didn't get any money. I had to drive and sometimes figure out how to get all the way to the top. So I could just put records up or take it to UPS. And, you know, I love doing that because that gave me a chance to talk to all the DJs. That got me a chance to talk to all the record labels. It gave me a chance to talk to the A&R. You know, I became a part of the circle of life in the music industry because without records, the DJs can't play music, and without the DJs playing music, then the labels can't produce the artists, and without the artists, then everything falls apart. You know, I was able to be cog in that wheel. I was the first one to listen to all the new music. Then I became the one to tell the DJs how records work. So then I go out to the clubs, and then now the DJs allow me to come to the club for free. You know, I thought that was the best thing in the world. You know, so I was pretty cool with that. And then when TJ first gave me my check, first check he ever gave me, I swear to you on everything. I said, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" Like, I was just doing this so much. love it. I thought he gave me a check. I was like, wow. All right, cool. You know, it's a bonus. And
Right.
you know, just use that catapult and to continue to grow. And through that, we ended up uh, from the record pool. We started doing some wonderful things since we knew everybody. We started a record label. We moved to an office, created a record label, then a studio, and then a retail store. So I was in charge of running the retail store. So we were the first and only scared people in Tallahassee. And that's a big deal because that was the people that populated the record label, so the record sales. So we were the ones that said, okay, this artist is getting a gold record, this artist getting a platinum album, you know, and as a result of that, then the music industry started paying more attention to us, started sending us marketing dollars and the whole nine. And I was the one that was the one behind the wheel, making sure that all these numbers went out. So, you know, I was on a lot of record labels list all of a sudden. I'm 22 years old, getting flown out to Vegas for, you know, the first BET Awards, and you know, meeting all these different retail legends like George Daniels out of Chicago, the one that put R. Kelly on. You know, no question about it. He just did what he did. You know, and then I met the guy.
For better or for worse.
You know, I put, you know, I just was in these circles all of a sudden, and you know, 22 years old, I was picking up all and soaking up all the knowledge. And then from there, from the record label side, I was dealing with the retail side. I was dealing with all the different people that put on like cash money, you know, all these different retail folks. And from there, we were doing such a great job. Label ended up going in separate ways, and then from there, we started the record pool meeting, and the record pool meeting turned legendary. We started one small room and just invited all the different key people of the music industry, and we just all got together to network, to learn from each other, because it was a requirement of the record pool networks that we were part of. So we had to start doing them. So once we started doing them, we realized that we had something special, and we just kept doing them over and over again. So consistency was really the key to all of that. And that's another question that I want to drop to your people is that, you know, if you can do something, it's great to do it the one time, but the real key is doing it consistently and over time. And we did those conferences once every 3 months or 10 years. And through that, as you mentioned earlier, we launched all types of careers from B.O.B., T-Pain, David Banner, Fly, Ricky, T.I. come through. I mean, anybody that is in the stuff music scene, we can help and help them part of their career. And it was amazing sitting here watching them go 6 apart. And, you know, 7 out of 10 artists on 1 6 apart, top 10 came through us. And it was just, it was like, wow, especially coming from a situation where that and 1 in Tallahassee, 2 from being in the South. And when Andre got up there and said the South got something to say, we felt that because nobody was giving us the respect that we deserved, and didn't realize that the South really has some positive things going on, and we were a focal point of getting the South heard, and especially behind the scenes, it really meant a lot to us. And you know, I'm grateful for those opportunities, those experiences, and it really helped put me in the position that I'm in now.
Yeah, I can attest. There's 2 acts. I remember the first time I saw them was at the DJ conference here in Tallahassee, and then next thing you know, they everywhere. And that's Pretty Ricky. I remember when they came in, they had like some towel like towel outfits, but with like the spray paint.
Got your polar bear outfit, all white with the pink and blue neon lights. Man, I remember that.
Yeah, they came running, and some little boys we was looking like, what the word going on? They went and did their thing. We was like, oh, and next thing you know, like you said, blowing it up. And the other person was Gucci Mane. I remember seeing Gucci Mane. He did So Ice.
True story.
And
true story.
Yeah.
Time they performed, So Ice was at our stage. That was the very first time he ever performed So Ice.
Told y'all, facts. 100. No lies around here. You trying to tell people I've been around. Even like even my people be like, you were there? I'm like, bro,
yeah,
I've been around. Don't sleep on your boy.
And let me pick you up too real quick, if you don't mind. Let me pick you up real quick. You know, in my travels, I've done a lot of different things too. You mentioned I had a sports have a talk show called the 2-Minute Warning. Shout out to DJ Shane. And through that, my man E was actually our engineer, and he helped us our show, because we started off, just doing a podcast like you. It was cool, it was great, but then it turned into something special. We ended up getting picked up by the major radio stations and ESPN and the whole nine, and we had to actually have somebody back there working the bugs for us. And, so my man E really made it a professional sound, and I appreciate that. We started getting marketing dollars from McDonald's and Wing Zone and a few other people because we started having that professional sound. So thank you for that. You're part of history.
Yo, I was gonna bring that up. Matter of fact, shout out to my man Jay Cruz. He didn't want to put me down. I think he did like the initial joints, but like he was like so busy doing whatever. So he was like, "Yo, can you do this?" And I was like, "I can learn." So he showed me the ropes or whatever, and it was a crazy time because I think I was working at Star Metro. I was coaching, so I had to like squeeze that in between. But I love music, like you said, I just love music. I saw it as an opportunity to get into it, and I had been doing a podcast too. That's another thing. Like I was doing the original version of the Enigma Sept Hour at that time. So for me, it was still internet radio. So I was like, yo, let me get into real radio and maybe I can, progress from just doing, internet radio. It wasn't necessarily podcasting at the time. So, yeah, I jumped at it. Man, it was a dope time. I remember eating a lot of them Wingstop joints.
Wing Zone. We gotta get our sponsors back. Wing Zone.
Yeah, Wing Zone. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My bad. My bad. Don't shoot me, Rick Ross. Um,
The opportunity came up. You know what I mean? We interviewed stars from the NFL, the NBA. You know, we had Wiki
yeah,
Wright, the boxing champion, on there. You know, I don't
right,
know if I told you this, but Chris Wilford brought me and my up to go see a game with the Jaguars and the Patriots, and you know, I saw Tom Brady throw a touchdown pass to Randy Moss. So, you know, I mean, that just it was just a beautiful thing, and you know, I appreciate you being a part of that.
yo, man, it was dope. And actually, now, those listen to the podcast know that I co-host at WVFS do the Underground Railroad, and that's where it stemmed from. Like the experience I had from doing a sports show. Once my man Dermo had to leave the station at WVFS, he hollered at me because I had experience. And then it was like, all right, come through. And that came from me just doing the boards to coming up front, helping co-host, to sometimes even hosting an Underground Railroad up at WVFS. So yeah, man, it was I don't even consider a stepping stone. That may be a peak. I think that was a peak with that. But that was man, that was so dope. And also too another thing that I guess as far as a tie in between us two, and show that you have been an intricate part of my development, for better or for worse, is when I was at FAM, I was doing a magazine article for one of my classes, and it was about the industry here in Tallahassee. This was back in had to be 05, 06. I want to say 06, top of 06. And I remember coming to the office. I think it was the record shop / office you guys had over in Capitol Circle Southwest.
Yeah, Wild Style
And
PJ.
yep. Now I remember coming through, we were going upstairs or whatever, and y'all had the office. I didn't even know it was there. Like I knew I knew Wild Style was there. I didn't know you guys had the office on the second floor. And
Right.
I got a chance to talk to you. I think I got a chance to talk to TJ, you know what I'm saying, and get information for the article. I think also because I had my man Thrill, our man. I'm pretty sure you know him way more than I do.
Yeah.
But I had befriended Thrill, Twitter player. Shouts out to 69 boys. Cause I had worked at Subway on Tennessee Street, and he would come in regular because, of course, that barbershop that was like popping at the time was right behind the Subway, so a lot of people would come through. And Clippers, there we go. And me and Thrill, you know what I'm saying, we was cool, and he invited me up to the radio station. That was the first time I had met E-Zone. And he showed me around with whatever, and I interviewed him and just really got my feet as opposed regarding movers and shakers, what I'm saying, in Tallahassee and in Florida, period. So again, I know you was someone I had talked to in that journey, trying to basically get what I got to now. So
And that brings
that's
up a
why
good point, E. And I'm sorry, that brings up a good point. For me, I was of the philosophy that if you're going to do right, and you're going to need help, right, and if you do get help, somebody helps you along your journey, then it's your responsibility and your duty to help those behind you. You can't pull the ladder up behind you. You know what I mean? And I'm big on that. So for me, I was blessed to have the opportunity to work as an intern. So I've always looked at it, okay, well, whenever I get opportunities to help others, then it's my responsibility to do that. And it doesn't matter if it may be a small person, a small fry in this moment. That person could be huge tomorrow. You just never know. There was a time Nicki Minaj was walking around when being Onika, Miss Onika, Nicki Minaj.
right.
There's a time that Diddy was an intern, but now he's Diddy. You know what I mean? You never know. You have to be very confident and mindful of who it is that you work with, because you just never know who somebody can become. And you always want to build the best relationships. The best way of doing that is just always look out for people, just because it's the right thing to do, to help out, to help people, as long as it doesn't impede on what it is you got going on. Some people you give opportunity to, and then they don't know how to handle that. Then that reflects poorly on you. So you just have to be mindful about how you help people, but that you first to help people. Does that make sense?
Right. No, that makes perfect sense. And honestly, with this podcast, that's what I try to do. Like, I know how it is to be an inspiring artist, and wanting to get your music out. And sometimes you'll face roadblocks in that path. So for me to interview, especially up and coming artists, sometimes it's their first time having an interview, or the point blank period. And so the ideal is to guide them and help them, kind of get through that, so they know what to do. So if and when they do have an opportunity again in the future, it's not, not like a deer in headlights, because they'll know the ins and outs of trying to of being on the interview and being interviewed and talking about their music and talking about themselves and things of that. So yeah, I'm definitely about trying to help those that's trying to come up, because I've been down that path. Now the interesting thing, like you was talking about the internships, and I've have seen, especially on Twitter, kind of the wave of I guess, younger people, if you will, who kind of look at unpaid internships as, I guess, a relic of the past, or something that they're not fond of. I don't know if it's a Gen X or millennial versus Gen Z type situation. Do you think that that is the attitude to have, that they should say, hey, I don't know about this unpaid thing, or is unpaid internship still an important part of trying to come up in not just the industry, but any industry?
All right. So I'll say this: when I came up, it's a different era. You know, when I came up, the internet was around, but it wasn't prevalent like that. You know, it wasn't as dominating as it is in today's life. So that process was different. So because of that, in order for you to be able to get the access, you had to go through certain gatekeepers or tastemakers in order for you to be able to achieve your mission and your goals. So you had to kind of pay your dues in order to be able to prove that you're worthy to, receive the golden information, if you will. So you can go ahead and, make your career pop the way that you want to pop. Like I said before, Diddy was an intern. You know what I mean? Everybody was key to make it happen. But today, because of the advent of the industry, you can go and create your own podcast. You can go and create your own YouTube channel. You can go and create, whatever you want to do without having to go through the. So if you already have it going on, then you can literally become a millionaire before you get out of high school. If you really do it the right way. A normal pathway of being an intern in order to be seen and heard is gone. But there is a learning curve whenever you deal with whatever you try to do. So the internship helps with that learning curve. So at some point or another, you're going to have to pay your dues. Whether it be you got one good job, whether it be, you learn how to work your system, whether you learn how to understand how to grow your fan base, your listenership. Whatever it is, there's going to be some type of learning curve. And the industry internship is the best way for you to be able to get an understanding about from the veterans and the experts on how to do it while being a part of the system. And the trade-off is that for the knowledge, you give up the work. And that was always a trade-off. So today's generation, you don't necessarily have to do that. But it's important if you want to accelerate your growth curve to figure out who can help you understand whatever it is that you're interested in, who can get faster to that point. That's what the internship represents. So sometimes you may have to partner with certain people. Sometimes you may have to have, pay somebody for their time, whatever it may be, so you can figure out how to get ahead from what you're trying to do. And that's what the internship represents. So you don't necessarily have to have an internship nowadays. Everybody's so money driven that you have to understand it's not always about the money. You should always focus on opportunities. Opportunities does well, then you don't have to worry about the money. You don't have to worry about that. Like for me, one of the things that I ended up doing, I was blessed to put up a night spot called And the venue was, or is, the number in town. It's the after party spot. But when we first got going, you know, it was hard trying to get people in the door at first because they didn't know we existed. You know, they didn't know what was going on. And then whenever we would, you know, open up our doors, we would have to tailor it a certain way to get people to come up. And then we found our niche in the after party spot. And then people started flowing and breaking down doors down quite literally. Now, the trouble, and this is why I bring it up, because in order for you to grow, you have to have a strong support system. And that support system deals with employees. And whenever you deal with employees, you have to have people in place that can basically do what you were doing, but you can them because you don't have the time to do that. So what we've learned is that this current generation, and I hate saying that because again, it makes it sound old and distant, but you know, today's generation is not focused on opportunities. They're focused on, well, how much I get paid? What do I get out of this? And it's a more thing versus a weakness. And with them understand is that when we make it a we then we can all get paid. You know what I mean? A much better situation than you somebody feeling like it's a me thing. Because me people end up stealing, they end up taking, they end up, you know, cutting off what they feel is fair versus everything else being involved. And when that happens, it really messes up the process. Not to say that people that are young today that you know don't have that team mentality, because those that do start very well with us. You know, we have a lot of team members that you know are of our team that are doing very well, and that's because we understand that it's a team mentality. I mean, it's like if you have a team and you have a star wide receiver that's mad because he doesn't get the ball every play, and it throws up the chemistry, the whole offense, and the third quarterback is always trying to force it there when the top receiver is wide open. You know what I mean? But because this man wants the ball all the time, and he's in the media, he's right into the coach, whatever it is, and now he's going to the quarterback throwing interceptions instead of touchdowns to the slot. You feel me? So it's just something that as a team, you gotta think of it as a team effort. What can we do in order for us to be great? And once that's the case, then even the 12th man on the roster gets a ring. You know what I mean? We all get rings if we all make it to the championship. But make it if one person feeling like everybody else.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the one time I met Kanye. As if I'm special. I met Kanye one time. He was in town. They had some kind of like stopover here in Tallahassee back in 2004. And I ran into him. I just need like I was asking like for a piece of advice. And he was like, he basically said like find that one person that got like the magic touch or got that one talent and like ride that wave or whatever. And I kind of took that where you said it, where it's like Have somebody like you can have a team, like even if you want to be like the rapper or the star person or whatever, like the people around you, you need to have somebody or some people that have that talent that can drive whatever y'all trying to do to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
even if you be a dope rapper, that's cool. But yo, if you got that like unicorn of a manager that know how to get your music to whatever, or know how to hustle to get you into whatever venues or get your music to whatever stores or playlist or whatever, like that'll work out. If you got that star producer that can elevate your sound to a next whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like you, but you always need a team. It's not just one person. It's not just, you know, I think people get caught up in trying to be the next Jay-Z, not realizing that Jay-Z got a whole team around him. It was just not him.
Correct.
So even though, you know, he's the front man, and it seems like the source come from him, like at the end of the day, no, there's a team of people around him that he, you know, was able to put around him to build the empire he's built. And sometimes he had to eliminate people. Sorry, Dane,
Right.
but so yeah, I hope especially anybody that's listening, they had that understanding that yo, it's not a one man show out here. You gotta have like you said, a foundation to help you help build you up. So yo,
Teamwork makes the
but
dream work.
beyond that, teamwork make the dream work. Y'all already know that. It's on your wall somewhere. You got it on your car somewhere, keychain. I know that. Speaking of making the dream work, man, you had an idea and came into a fruition on September 25th with Rules of the Gang, your book that's available now. What
on Amazon and Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, Amazon. We are, if you listen to the podcast, we've seen Amazon already. So yeah, I need to go ahead and do that. Go over to Amazon. Bezos gonna be the Bezos, whatever his name is. He's gonna be the richest man in the world forever anyway. Just go ahead. Don't try to boycott. You go to Amazon and get that book.
And if you don't have Amazon, you pick it up from Barnes and Noble too.
Barnes and Noble. If you want to go to the what they call brick and mortar.
Brick and mortar. Yep. They exist. They still out there.
Yeah. What was the genesis of the book? Like, what made you say, "Let me pick up this pen, man, and give these people this game"?
Well, for one, you know, my true blessing, my true talent and gift in life is writing. I recognize that, and I've been blessed to have the ability to put thoughts and words on the paper that move people. And it's a blessing. It helped me become professional. Like Blood Raw was my very first professional bio, and he ended up going to work with CTE, Jeezy, and the whole nine. And I realized like I could do that for real. Then okay, cool, you know. And I was that kid in class that always had, people trying to have me write the papers for them, and I was that dude. You know what I mean? And even with B.O.B., I was trying to write his first two bios, and when 106 the Park is reading my words, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I can really do this. Okay, cool. So
Right.
I realized that I could work on a professional level. So okay, cool. So once I had that confidence, I realized that the things that I was doing in my career were things that people kept asking me about over and over and over again. Hey Q, how do you do this? Hey Q, do that. Hey Q, hey Q. I'm like, okay, I'm really tired of repeating myself. I don't like repeating myself. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay,
Right.
something on paper so that way I can always have to keep myself. I can show people stuff. And as Scoop told us, the game is to be sold, not told. So I was like, all right, cool. And it was something that's always been on my mind for So every now and then when I'm in the club or whatever, and I got write on a note here, and I put up my phone. Okay, put a note. And then I was running around so crazy in the back of my mind, but I just felt like the pandemic really did a lot for people. No disrespect side, get your vaccines and wear your mask and all that. But for me, I use it as an opportunity to sit down and evaluate where I want to. I know it's gonna be forever, so let me figure this out. So after I painted my house, after I cleaned my house so many times, after I did so much I could do, and I can only play so many video games. I can only do so much.
Right.
So I was like, okay, the Lord and the universe, whatever you believe in, and told me, okay, Keith, now's the time to finally sit down and do what you're supposed to be doing. So it's all right, cool. So I just went ahead and just decided to write the book. And I was at once I started doing it and really focused on it, it felt like it just was my destiny. It just felt like everything just started flowing, And then I realized that the best way to others is to get others information and others knowledge. So I recruited a lot of my key people that I came up with: TJ, Winnie J, Julius Beverly, all these people that are doing great things in the industry already that can help impart some of that knowledge. And I felt like, as I told you earlier, that it's my duty to make sure that I pass to the next generation the information that I've gained and garnered. And that's the best thing I could do is put it in the book and help them understand where we at with it. And I was blessed that I was able to do that. And thankfully, my friends that were a part of the book were able to impart some of that knowledge and help spread to the next generation. And I'm really excited about it because, and not to sound conceited, but, I knew it was going to be successful. Once I just always knew, like, okay, what you're saying is really important and it needs to be heard. And no matter what generation, no matter how long you're in the game. So once I put it out there, I was really happy to see people actually buy the book. You know what I mean? I had that confidence that they would. Now that you actually see it come to life, it just felt so wonderful and such a blessing. And I tailored it around my birthday just as a way, as a gift to myself. I said, all right, Keith, you know, you've been working hard. You know, give yourself a gift. You know, drop a book on your birthday, and I did that. And not only did I do that, I had a book release party at my club. You know what I mean? I had the radio station locked in for my people. You know what I mean? It was a beautiful thing. It was a celebration of life and also accomplishment. And I was so grateful to have these people come out. Basically, their home, and you know, and not necessarily a dangerous situation, but you know, people during the pandemic, you know how it was. So not everybody was trying to come out like that, and everybody, you know, came out to support me, and it was a beautiful thing, and I was very blessed by that, and I was very, you know, happy that people cared enough about me to want to come and celebrate with me, and you know, I get autograph signings, and you know, it was just I felt like a real star, and it felt wonderful. It was like a dream come true. It really was a dream come true. I, I'm gonna give you the truth. I damn near cried, man. You know what I mean? They brought out a birthday cake for me with my book cover on it. I didn't know that was coming. They gave me a little flag with my birthday, my plaque, with my cover on it. And I was like, wow, man. They autographed it for me. I was like, dang, this is beautiful. I just really felt like this. You know, I felt like my destiny was coming to life. And and this is something I want to put on to y'all real quick, man, too. It's like, you know, in this world, in this life, you have a true purpose in this life, right? It's not to, well, it may be to work for others. If that's what you feel like it is, okay, cool. You know, but me personally, I've always felt like you only have one time in this like world to go around, and you need to make sure that it's what you want it to be. And if you're not following what it is you're supposed to be doing, you're gonna find that you're not happy doing what you're doing. You're not gonna be excited about waking up in the morning. You're not gonna want to go work in that cubicle, whatever it may be. You realize that you're not happy or find true joy in doing what you do. But once you find that true joy in doing what you do, that's finding your purpose. That's finding your destiny. And once you follow that, I'm telling you, there's nothing in this world that's gonna stop you because that's for you. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. You're gonna have setbacks. You're gonna have, you know, roadblocks. Those are just there to make you appreciate what you're going through and to make you a better person. And you know, you have to go through those so you can elevate. If it was always easy, then you would appreciate it. It's for you to follow your goals, follow your destiny, and be a part of that. Because if you're not, then you're just basically wasting time. And we only have so much time in this crazy world. You know what I mean? So you might as well go ahead.
I say this, man. I think one important thing, and for whatever reason, I sound like Beehive right now. But one important thing that you said was um, that during the pandemic, after you painted the house, cleaned the house, played the video games, like you had time for the universe to speak to you. And I think that's important. I think that's very important for anybody. Is that you take time to quiet the noise and allow and rather if you believing if it's God or universe or whatever. God, I do believe that God lives in us. That spirit is in us. We just have to allow it to up out to us. And that means taking time to quiet your mind for that to come. And you know, meditation, prayer, whatever you take space for you to listen to that voice. So I do believe that because you said that this is divine, this is the purpose. This was a divine purpose for you to do that because you listened to that voice that was listen to the spirit that was in your head or whatever. And I think that's very important. So I really hope people take that in, and that's what happened. Also, shouts out to Blood Raw. I want to say he was out of 3. I think I've interviewed 3 signed or formerly signed artists. I can't think of what was the first? I can't think of his name. Urban Mystic. Interview Urban Mystic.
Yes, I do.
Blood Raw. Yeah. And then my man Royce just last week, a couple weeks ago. So, but shouts out to Blood. I think Blood Raw was the first. I think that back. Not Urban Mystic. I think Blood Raw was the first. Yeah. I think he already separated from CTE when I interviewed him, but no, that was dope. That was dope. Shouts out to Blood Raw, man. You give Blood Raw.
On that, quick, yeah. Okay, yeah, I gotta get Blood props, but just real quick too, he just real quick dropped his new book too to tell his story. So you might want to holler at him again. I'm sure he would love to be on the show. If you let's come back. But on the book though, on the book side of things, one of my biggest inspirations is the 48 Laws of Power, and I love that book by Robert Greene. And if those that don't know, it is the quintessential book to show you how people move and how you can move with and and it's very Machiavellian, and I love that. But the thing about it is that he breaks down, he gives you 48 laws, irrefutable laws, and it gives you the reasons why they come about, historical examples of why this came about, and what happens when this law gets broken. And I use that blueprint as a way to write this book. So I broke my book down into different chapters, and with that understanding, okay, cool. But this is the rules rules of the game that you need to follow. Okay, cool. These are some of the people who are experts about this rule, and this is why and how they came up with it. So these are historical examples of music industry, and even business people ask why this happens, and this is what happens when you don't follow that rule. And here's also a notepad inside the book for you to take notes for yourself, because if you're not taking notes, then you're not really understanding and learning the lesson. And you're going to keep bumping your head until you learn the lesson. That's just why I was blessed to have this channel in me and through me, to and put people onto this game, because the game is not easy. It's not. It's the fundamentals are easy. It's like, again, back to sports. Yeah, football, running the ball, catching the ball. Okay, tackling. Okay, the fundamentals. But to do it on a professional level, you have to dedicate. You have to be focused. You can't, cheat yourself, because if you do, there's somebody out there that's ready to knock your block off, and or even take your position. So you always have to be and always work to be the best. And if you're not, you're just gonna get to this side. And this book, I want to say demonstrates that. And it's not just me talking. I put my experience in the book, but I also have all these industry experts that have been through the same or similar situations or some of the things that they learn from. How many times have you ever had a $30 million check out? You know what I mean? Like, what did they went through? You know what I mean? What happened when she put cash money on and her check bounced? You know what I mean? Talking about, how David Banner was, working out his van, and then his van got stolen just before he got a $10 million deal. You know what I mean? We talked about those things. Princess Cut talks about how, she was a young female DJ, how she throw her elbows out and not be a lady on stage. You had to be able to, in order to be able to get on stage and be able to survive. And now she's DJ for Oprah and all these different festivals. She's telling her story. You have TJ telling his story. You got all these different people. Julia telling her stories, and it's wonderful. DJ Dap telling his stories. The program director in Tallahassee, 102.3. You got man DJ Lil Boy telling his story about how he was on the road with TV for 10 years and how you survived getting kidnapped in Africa. You know what I mean? Just different things that all these different people telling their stories to help the next generation, the current generation, about how to get better. And he talks about internships. So if you don't want to do an internship, read the book and do the internship.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Well, man, so much we could talk about, but I promise Keith that I wasn't gonna take too much of his time. So we're gonna go ahead and go ahead and try to wrap this thing on up. Man, so much we can talk about. So much. We get into his both his field teams. Nose in the Jaguars. Urban Meyer out here looking crazy. Taggart looking. I mean, oops. No, Bill out here looking crazy.
Well, the good news is that we can talk about those small teams right now. We're in the rebuilding phase, so we can move on to the next topic. Save a lot of time that way.
It's all good, man. But I appreciate you taking this time. This is a big look. I have admired you for years. I know that a lot of attention do go to TJ, and reasonably so, because the things that he's done in the industry. But on the flip side, like we said before, it's all about having a team, and I know you've been an intricate part of the team that he built, that helped build the stars that we know today. So, yeah, man. So that's why when I see you, it's always love, because A, such a believers are the best, and then B, like I know the work you put in, but you've always remained humble and kind and personable through all of that. Like, you could really hold your head up, your nose up high. You can hold your head up, but you really hold your nose up high if you wanted to, and you haven't. And that's appreciated. And I just want to give you your flowers Thank you. Being an everyday man to everybody, bro. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You deserve everything that comes to you. Everything great that comes to you. Let me say that. So, before we get up out of here now, for the YouTube watchers, I have the information scrolling below. But for the podcast listeners, if you can let them know how they can get in contact with you, you know what I'm saying, via social media. And also too, again, with the book, just give them the website for the book.
No worries. So first off, roottothegame.com is where you can go ahead and find all the information about the book, as well as information behind the scenes that can help elevate you. You can always find me on Twitter. You can always find me on Instagram and Facebook. Keith K926 KEITH K926. I want to give a shout out to DJ Little Boy for being a great business partner as well as a great friend. We're building the together. We got the trophy shop now, United Trophies and Awards. Plus we do promotion and marketing as well as concerts. We put together 2 huge concerts here the first time. We had SSB come to town. We had Rise, our heritage as well. We do a lot of different things, a lot of things they can shout out. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of really beautiful things. I want to give a shout out to TJ DJs that helped me, help us find greatness. From Malik, to Dior, to Tuesday, to Keisha, to everybody that was involved. Head, you know what I mean? Everybody that came through and really helped elevate, TJ's Chaos, Blessed Dead, White Shoes. That's my tools. You know what I mean? TJ, of course. Everybody involved with those projects. And, shout out to again the venue crew. Shout out to everybody that's been really helping me on my journey. Shout out to my parents because I couldn't do it without them. I couldn't be here without them. Straight up. Shout out to thank you for always being there for me and listening out. And I just want to say, look, man. At the end of the day, we only get one life, and if it's not gonna be that, then why do it? You know what I mean? And you might as well go ahead and start today. If you have a goal that going to take years, if you're blessed to make it those years, you're gonna be there anyway. You might as well have those accomplishments under your belt. And for me, one of my biggest, I'll say, demons is procrastination. I can't lie. Procrastination has always been my weakness because I've always felt like I could do that whenever. I can't do that whenever. So I get kind of cocky about it. But what I realize is that, yeah, you could, but why not just do it? And then once you do it, then okay, cool. You knock that out and move on to other great opportunities. And if you don't, then it's always going to be right here instead of knocking it out and moving forward. So, the book was a testament to that, and I feel like it's my breakthrough. And it's allowed me the ability to, get to the next level. And I'm looking forward to writing the next one. I have a whole plethora of books coming out, audio books, and I'm just really excited about the future. And, I'm very blessed to be in a position. Not everybody has made it as far as I have. And I'll continue moving forward and still doing it. And I'm just very grateful and very thankful that you mentioned. I had to look over my shoulder because I don't do bad business. So, I'm grateful for that. And that's really my favorite rule to the game, that, business and business come to you. you know, and I'm just very thankful, blessed, and grateful. And I always want to continue moving forward and, having great karma by doing great things for people and, having good things happen. So,
Yo, no doubt, man. Also, too, man. Speaking of, I've already mentioned this in the early part of the podcast. But shouts out, everybody that performed at the Fan U Rising last night. Like I said, I don't know,
yeah,
2 days ago.
it was.
When is the podcast dropping? No, especially my man Tarif, he did his thing. Man, Joe Summerfield did his thing, and my girl, my little niece, Jayla Young popped up. I was like,
Oh,
hey.
careful.
Yeah, I was so she posted. I thought she was just like, just showing love. She popped up. I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, man. Austin did a good job.
Yeah, nappy heads, they popped up.
Nappy heads, right?
Man, shut up. Yeah. Now you need to. I know you watching. Holla at your boys who get on your podcast, bro. You know what I mean? Do that. Be playing with me. Anyway, we're gonna get up out of here, man. Keith, again, I appreciate you, man, for just giving me your time and your knowledge, sharing that with the world or whatever. We're gonna make sure to get that out to the people. Other than that, we're gonna leave y'all 2 tracks. I don't normally do it during the interview, but whatever. Y'all gonna get it at the end, and then we're gonna get up out your hair. So, boom, this is your boy Enigma September, and this is the Enigma Sept Hour. You got time, baby.
It's Jayla Young. Don't feel me. I'ma make them work. What's the white twerk? Throw it in the handstand and make them go berserk. Put a watch in your back, pop, drop it till it hurt. Get up on the dance floor, show them why you first. Make them work. The white twerk. Throw it in the handstand, make them go berserk. Put a watch in your back, drop till it hurt. Get up on the dance floor, show them why you first. It's time to rep from left, right, left. Reverse it on the beat. I'm Jayla by the face, but it's Megan by the knees. And the way I tip it so I make the whole room free. When I let it talk, they like, about to make them twerk, son, like them. I'm floater made, can't you tell how I slide? That boat, I'm about to show them how to drive. Bed by the band, drip, flying in the pilot. The way I move my
Yeah. You got me here looking all sexy and stuff like that, you feel me? I'm really digging your style, your smile, the way you move it. Yeah. Foxy Cleopatra, you're the one that I'm after.
Bring this thing right on back real quick, because my man keeps saying, nah, I got more to say, bro. You ain't gonna do it like that. So yeah, man, if you want to go ahead and let the people know what you got in mind.
All right. So first off, man, I just want to say thank you, E, for allowing me to be on this today. I had a blast, and I hope that your audience got a chance to learn one or two things. And I just appreciate the opportunity as always, man. So there's that. And then also, too, I just really want everybody to understand, like, listen, man. Again, you only get one life in this world, bro. You know what I mean? Go ahead and live it to the best of your ability. because I swear to you on everything, man, you're gonna look back and it's not gonna be the money, it's gonna be the time that you spent and how you spent it that matters the most to you. You know what I mean? I've been faced with a lot of let's say people passing for me, and it's really puts a new perspective from. I was realizing that it's cool to get paid. Steve, I've been there, done that. It's great, you know what I mean? But it's not too. Only do that and use it as a tool in order for you to be able to look opportunities in the life that you want to live. You know what I mean? Like the greatest thing in the world for me was, being on the beach and getting a collect a check. While I'm on the beach, I get a mailbox check. That's awesome to me because I'm living the life I want, but it's being financed already without me having to be in a cubicle. Like that's win to me, and when you figure out what your win is and be able to live your life and structure it around that, and make sure that you always find time for your family, make sure you find time for your friends. Always figure out a way to incorporate it. You can't find a proper work balance life between work at home and your own social life. You have to, because if it's all too wrong to the work side, you're not going to have a good time. And this life is designed to have a good time while you go ahead and learn and do and be productive in society. That's why I want to say blessings to everybody out there. Live your best life, as they say. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, again, we only get one of them, man, and that's the realest thing I can say right now. I just want to say thank you again to E. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any follow-up questions and want to talk to me direct. I do consulting as well. So if you have a project that you want to take to the next level, come holler at me, figure out a plan that makes sense for you. Because at the end of the day, I love helping those that help themselves. I don't do lazy people. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna do the work for you, but I can help set you up to make sure that put you in a place so we can work together to make sure that we take it to the next level. And I'm good for that. You know what I mean? So hit me on Twitter, IGs, whatever, at Keith K926. You can also find me at ruletothegame.com as well as on the Twitter and Instagram as well at Rule to the Game. And I'm just blessed to be a part of here. Blessed to wake up every day and do the best I can to make the next day better. So thank you everybody for listening. I hope that it was beneficial to you, and holler at me, man, so we can go ahead and get better together. And there it is.
Word. Yeah, Nori claps. Yo, that's real, man. Again, he said, ain't no laziness in this thing, or the procrastination. Y'all gotta leave that behind. Yeah, once you blessed, then you can be a blessing, but you gotta be blessed first, and that blessed comes from then work without faith is dead. Right. So when put in that work, you know what I'm saying, have faith that it's gonna come to you, and when it do, boom, you look back and help those come up too. You know what I mean? That blessing is gonna continue to reciprocate itself to you. So yeah, man, that's what it is. And like I said, I told y'all before, man, just stay humble, stay looking out, and it's appreciated. That's why he has what he has, because God knows his heart and knows that he good people, man. And I co-sign that. So yeah. I think, let's see, boom. Yeah. You guys got music coming your way, and then we'll be out your hair. So again, this is the Enigma Sept Hour. You got time, baby.